The bottom boys are
Bottom
back on
boys.
the bottom.
Bottom boys.
The bottom boys are
Bottom
back
boys.
on
Bottom
the
boys.
bottom.
Bottom boys. Bottom boys.
Back on the
Roasting.
bottom
We're
with the
roasting you, bottom boys. Bottom boys.
Back on the
Bottom
bottom
boys.
with the
Get into the bottom.
bottom
Get into the
boys.
bottom. Get into the bottom. We're roasting your ass.
Bottom.
Bottom boys.
Dang.
We just
Brought
get
the heat.
better.
Brought the heat.
Better.
Every single time. I mean,
Heat.
it's insane. I'm surprised at this point that no major record labels have reached out.
I'm surprised they haven't gone back. There's had to have been someone who went back and made just a whole
Compilation. Like a
comp of
a
our
whole
deals and
album.
been like, this is
This
gold.
Now that's what I call Intros Volume 1 from the Bottom Boys, coming to a store near you. Hi, I am your Snake Zaddy, your shitposter supreme Matt Keck. Alongside me is the light of my life.
Paul, professor of put down shields.
He is the professor of put-downs. He went to the school of hard knocks. And before we really get into it, let's catch up a little.
Yeah.
Put out the stand-up special. So if you're listening or watching, go check that out on my YouTube.
It's great.
It turned out pretty good. Like
Yeah,
the cut turned out really good.
And not just going from me. I've had people watch it and gave me great feedback.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I've gotten some feedback from people who like I trust to tell me if it's shit. That has been positive feedback. So it's not shit. I'm comfortable in reviewing it that myself for sure. So go watch it and tell me if you think it's shit. Dirty Kid from Kansas City. What's up? That's what it's called. I don't know what's been going down lately. What?
Man, I got bronchitis.
Oh shit. Is that a dinosaur or what is that?
It's a pterodactyl.
Oh,
Caught
man.
him.
Mm-hmm. A pterodactyl in your trachea,
yeah,
right?
My trachea. I got bronchitis. Had to get a shot in my beehole.
For real? Like, did they have to do a butt shot?
Yeah.
What is it, like a antibiotic thing or like
it's
a
like
vitamin?
a steroid.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a steroid, they said.
That's why you're so freaking ripped right now.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering. I was like, why are you doing it in my... Are you going to do it in my butt? No, they're like, no, we got to go in the beehole. Right in the hole.
Right in the hole?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, right in the hole.
Did it, like, go up it? Or
It was, like, in it. Surprisingly, it took it easily. I don't know.
Huh. That's very, that's not something I've had done yet.
Yeah, I didn't know it was...
honestly, it kind of makes me want to get bronchitis.
But anyway, I'm mentioning that
Let's
because
hear it.
I may just freaking go off in a coughing fit.
Oh, because you're full of steroids right now, all dried up.
Because I have... No.
Oh,
because
you
I have
bronchitis.
bronchitis.
Okay. Not the
Yes.
steroids. Steroids
No.
doesn't make you cough?
No.
Oh, just bronchitis does? Oh, man. What do steroids do?
Make...
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You know what?
didn't
I
read the
asked that
label.
question.
You didn't read the label.
I didn't get the label.
Oh, okay.
The nurse gave me the
They
shot.
just shot
up
it
there.
right in there.
Yeah, and I was like, "What does a steroid do exactly?" She's like, "Makes you better." Like,
Oh, good.
okay,
This will fix everything.
I'll just fall in. Okay, I'll just.
She just squirted some freaking some of that. That's a lot of damage. What is that shit called?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The stuff that like keeps the leaks out. The guy
Keeps
from
the leaks out.
the guy
Oh,
that like
the-
cuts a boat in half and tapes the boat
Ooh.
back together. You
Some
know
kind
who
of
I'm talking
seal,
about?
something seal,
Flex
some-
seal.
Flex
There we
seal.
go. She just shot Flex seal up
seal.
your ass.
Yeah,
That's what she did.
I was wondering why.
That's why you haven't
my
shit in weeks.
cheeks have been together for since then.
That clinching, that clinching with the steroids, you're gonna have like freaking diamond rock hard ass cheeks.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredible.
Rock hard ass cheeks.
That's
my nickname now.
That's Paul Rock Hard Ass
Ass
Cheeks
cheeks.
Shields.
Ass cheek shields.
Ass Cheeks Shields is a good one, actually.
Yeah.
That could be a good name for a underwear company. Ass Cheeks Shields.
Oh, it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, we should try that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to try that though, because
okay.
everybody will call me that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
You should sell
That's how they do.
panties.
That's how people do.
You
They
should
roast
sell
you with it.
panties, shouldn't you? Panty shield.
Yeah. First time I've heard that one. Good one, Matt.
Speaking of that terrible shit joke, we're going to talk roasts today. They're kind of back in
Roasting
the.
it.
It's back in the zeitgeist, right? Like we're back at each other's throats. It's everywhere. We got beefs. We got roasts. Did you watch the Tom Brady?
I did. I watched it live, actually.
Yeah, it's
when
pretty
it
cool
came
that
out.
they're doing that. I didn't watch
Yeah.
it live. I kind of wish I had because I guess they edited some fan reactions to a few things, but that's okay.
Yeah, and they didn't. Yeah,
They took out some booze.
Yeah, they took out the booze
Uh-huh.
for
Poor
the
Kim.
Kardashian.
Poor Kim.
Kardashian.
Man, I feel like when you watch her, it does the booze didn't even affect her. She doesn't even doesn't. I mean, and I get it. I guess like you're rich, right? You have everything you could want.
I'm pretty
but-
sure she's heard much worse than booze.
Yeah, that's true. That's
on a daily basis.
That's a great point.
She's used to it.
I mean, she has to turn off the outside inputs because it's probably constant crap.
Maybe she has big, huge money.
Yeah, money earmuffs. Absolutely. I mean, to some extent, it's like the perfect person to have at a roast.
Mm-hmm.
Already heard everything. Everyone's
I guess so.
Everyone's already shitty to
There's
you.
nothing you're gonna say.
Yeah,
that
you're used
will
to the
friggin-
shit. Yeah, so whatever. Who cares? I mean, and that to some extent, I think that was Tom Brady. He didn't seem to give a shit when people made fun of him. The only time he got upset was when they targeted someone else who he has his whatever respect for, which, I mean,
I think he
wanky, whatever.
I was listening to some of the stuff afterwards, and I think that there was like one rule or something, and that
it was
like the one rule.
no Robert
Not-
Kraft jack-off jokes or
not
whatever.
mentioning the massage thing or whatever.
And maybe it's because of legal shit. Maybe
I don't know.
it's just to protect the billionaire.
Or maybe
Tom
was
Brady
the one giving the happy ending
had
or whatever it
had
was.
some other deflated ball
Yeah.
issues. You never know. You know who I think killed is Nikki.
Oh yeah, that's
Nikki Glaser.
I don't think anybody could watch that and not say she freaking won the roast.
It was incredible.
If it was
I mean,
a winning thing.
Hinchcliffe did pretty damn good, and I was super shocked at how great he did.
And he's used to it.
Absolutely. But man, he came in and threw some haymakers too. But goddamn, Nikki Glaser.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, and we've known her forever. If you've listened to the show, we've talked about it before. Paul started doing open mics.
Oh
with
yeah,
her.
it's crazy, and I don't mean this as a flex or
No,
anything,
not at all.
Or any.
It's
in
just
fact,
really
it's probably
cool.
opposite of a flex.
Yeah, look
by the way.
Look where she ended up and where we are.
I'm freaking sitting here. I first start doing my going to open mics, and Nikki Glaser is sitting right beside me, right there,
Hanging out.
Yeah, I think she's like 19,
Yeah,
18,
like
19.
just fresh out of high school.
At that point in time, and then just
She had already had some success
seeing
by
what
the
she's
time I met
done, and I'm like, gosh dang. Not even... she's been on freaking Dancing with the Stars, for God's sake.
Well, she was on that one with Anthony Anderson where you had the family members and you had to guess like who was behind the... she was on the debut episode of that. And she was the last one, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like that was the moment when actually the moment I realized how famous she is now. Because when I met her, she had done a few things. She had done the Justin Timberlake "Come Back to Music" thing that went viral. She had done some MTV stuff, and she was like, you know, coming back through Stanford's all the time headlining, and so I would open for her here and there and blah blah blah. So I didn't know her probably quite as well as you and some
I didn't know her. I didn't talk to her.
Sure, I didn't work with her as much.
I
Let's put it
couldn't
that
talk
way.
to. There's no way that I can talk to a
young person,
18-year-old girl.
Yeah, I mean, fair. That's actually a very wise and incredible choice. I'm proud of you. Yeah, no, and so but it's just wild. The moment I realized how famous she was I was watching the Albert Brooks documentary. One of the greatest comedic minds there is.
I saw that.
And so you're only interviewing a handful of people to talk about him, and she's one of them. Yeah. That's how well respected she is in the comedy community.
I've seen her pop in numerous.
It's so wild and crazy to see.
Freaking documentaries and things that they have.
And I always knew like someone that we met would like do something. You know, Wes Van Horn was on Josh Wolf for a while. I don't know what he's doing now. Aaron Branch had the Netflix show. He's done a handful of commercials. Like, we've had some cool people pop out of here. But, man, seeing that was just
that's
mind
crazy.
Blowing. She was so good. Every joke was so good.
And the world knows her now.
Yeah.
This was her. I mean, she's been this whole
and the timing of it all. She just put her new special out on Max. Like, incredible. Just absolutely incredible. Blows me away.
I mean, she had the career as it was. But
and she was already known for the roasts, right? But this was just like, I mean, they were right. It was one of the biggest ones of all time. Like, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Hart. Like, it was a huge show.
They
Everyone I know watched it.
Afterwards, they had her on the Pat McAfee show.
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, is the biggest thing outside of Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So that's an entire different freaking...
insane. A whole new
demographic.
And they're gonna love her
at that point.
The sports dudes are gonna fucking love her stuff.
Yeah. She had the joke about the only reason I know football is because of Taylor Swift. Or
yes. The best. But beyond that, we're talking roasts, and not just the Tom Brady roast. Roasts are just kind of back in the zeitgeist. And we know I have like a little history with roasts.
Matt, I just finished listening to your podcast. Actually, that you did. Really well done. I think.
Thank you.
Really it was very much in the conversational mode.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, Matt can talk.
So I just tried to thank God too. If I couldn't talk, I
don't
know what the fuck I'd be doing.
He's just talking to himself. Not anybody to talk to.
I know.
He's talking. I was like, nice.
So I wrote like little outlines for each one because I knew what points I wanted to hit, so that I didn't miss stuff. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to know my history with roasting, that is out there. It's like 6 episodes, and I'm talking about what I did with Wendy's. And honestly, to some extent, I feel like what we did with Wendy's filled a gap for a while because it's been a while since Comedy Central's done a roast. They had Roast Battle, but I didn't know anyone who like religiously watched that. That you would see clips of it, but roasts kind of went out of style when Trump was in office because everything got so mean. I think maybe.
I guess maybe.
I don't know if that's why. Maybe it's just an excuse.
I don't think they did go out of style. I think they just had a deal where they're
just a drought of people willing to do it. Maybe.
I don't know. A lot. I think maybe it got overtaken with it a lot because he had those roast battle shows,
and even like Jeff Ross going to like, I'm gonna go to the prison and roast all the prisoners, and like maybe it got watered down a bit.
I guess
in the output, but also, those were all good.
But also Kill Tony. I know
that's true.
It's in a certain deal, but he just roasts people as they come on.
I think maybe that helped bring it back into the zeitgeist too.
I guess so.
Which is which makes sense why they'd bring him on because he plays such a big part in that community now. Like,
and he's good at it.
I mean, he's great at it.
And he does it off the cuff.
He looks like a freaking cartoon criminal mouse, but he's incredible.
Yeah. I'm like, man,
he looks like the sidekick from every '80s teen drama, but like he's out there.
It's like you wear that freaking mustache on purpose, just so somebody says something. I know he's got so many things loaded for you to say
he's got the responses.
Mustache.
He's ready for the responses. Yeah, I'm sure it's all sorts of responses about your mom riding his mustache. He's ready. I mean, and the best roasters have that, right? It's like the best rap battlers. You have your arsenal. You've got the things you fall back on, and you put new twists on those things. You do new versions of those things, but you've always got something ready because you never know when the roast is going to come.
I would say, and I don't know if you consider this, but you are probably one of the few people that I would consider a professional roaster.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I am.
You literally got paid for doing it.
And I think the Wendy's Roast Day kind of filled in that gap where you didn't have a big roast event and people kind of looked for it every year and they knew it could come to them. Like, they could actually get involved in it. And, yeah, I mean, it grew. First year, it was just me and my buddy Jeremy Klein and, like, Emmy at my work. 3 of us in a room, and we just roasted all day long. By the end of it, we had the whole writing staff that worked on every Wendy's thing in a doc. I'm approving every joke. I'm choosing the best jokes. And then in between that, I'm ignoring it and just going in and I'm just firing off roasts because if I'm approving, well, then I can approve my own damn jokes, can I?
And I'll say, though, also, once you're doing them, like so many after that, you get, I mean, they start getting better.
It becomes an instinct. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's because you almost like start with a joke and you just you learn how to stop throwing rocks and start throwing gemstones, right?
And then you stop and then if you stop
accuracy
stop doing it though, it might take a little bit to get back into the groove.
Yeah,
just like anything, I think.
First few every year they were fine, but when you really got the hits, it was like hours in, you'd been sitting there, you'd been grinding, and suddenly you tell a joke that's so good they won't even let you freaking put it on the internet. Like, I'll tell you one that was way too mean for Wendy's on this last one. We were doing TikTok this time, so you could actually like see people in their videos.
Oh yeah.
And there was a woman, and she wasn't like huge or anything, but she was bigger, and she had red hair. And so the joke I wrote was, "Wow, I can't believe that my Macy's Thanksgiving balloon asked me to roast it." And, the room liked the joke.
Because it was off of Wendy. For a second there, I was...
Because it was Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy was saying it.
Yeah, the Wendy was saying it was her Macy's balloon.
I was like, that's funny. Then, that much better.
And so, now... But what I've done, since they're like, oh my God, no, we cannot do that joke. The other one they wouldn't let me do. And so now I just have them saved, and I'll just use them on my next roast. I'll call someone else the Macy's balloon version of something they look like. But... The other one I had that I couldn't use was there's this guy who, he kind of looked like me. And I was like, hey, is that the same t-shirt you go swimming in? And that joke just kills me so much.
Oh, didn't you use that?
I tried to.
Oh, you showed it to me.
Yeah, I tried to.
They
wouldn't let me do it.
That's so good.
It's like my
that one
favorite
was so
joke.
Good.
It was,
that was a good one.
I mean, it's perfectly placed. And for me, that's the best roasts, right? It's finding something that's like relatable. Everyone understands the fat kid swim in shirts. I'm not calling him fat. I'm indirectly making an insult that you then imply the main part of the insult.
Well, I mean, that's it, which is the
best. You don't just go, you're fat. You say, are you swimming in a t-shirt? It's so much funnier.
And it's the point of the joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Can't...
You don't want to reveal what's behind the door. Let people discover it for themselves.
That's the whole deal.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, you're fat, that's not a joke.
Right.
Because that's a joke is when you
that's
say
a category
something,
of jokes.
You say something and then you say something not expected.
I think the difference between an insult and a joke is an insult is simply a category of jokes. You're just describing things that could be a joke. So when I call you fat, that's an insult. But it's also a category of jokes. A category of things that could be funny about me being fat. That said, I get it. Some people have different sensitivities to the things wrong with them. And that's where you get with roasts, where if you don't like roasts, well, that's probably because you have those sensitivities. You take the jokes people are applying to other people and apply them to yourselves. I've done that. I get it.
Why do you think jokes? Why do you think roast became popular in general? Just roasting people.
So for me, I think it goes back to the jester, right? It goes back to the class system. The comedian is traditionally the lower class citizen, and punching up has always been considered fun. It's something to like bring the levels back together. The people in the top class, they're not hurt by the jokes. Tom Brady's not hurt by the joke. Kim Kardashian's not hurt by the joke. But all the people down low get to laugh and feel as though they are above the people that are going to go home and fly home in their private jets and sleep on piles of money. It goes back to the jester and the king. He got to make fun of the king. What's the king care? He's going to go back, sleep with his prostitute, sleep with the queen, eat a big feast, and then the jester gets to represent the people and like calm down some tensions.
But also, they'll go back, though, sometimes, and they'll get pissed off at a comment people will say on a reply to, on a freaking some tweet they had or something. Then they'll freaking do something that a comment was trying to joke with them, and they'll take it very personally.
Oh, yeah.
You think it's a thing of, okay,
maybe
so like,
situationally they just understand better? Maybe they're getting many comments
when you
that
are
it feels
giving,
personal.
When you're there and you're giving people, you're given permission to make fun of you.
Yeah, it's consent, right?
That's you saying it. Then it's kind of like
You're let's all laugh at my faults. Like,
right. When you're like, yes, like when like the fat kid who gets picked on starts telling jokes about himself, self-deprecation stuff.
It works every time.
He's given permission now for himself. He's also giving other people permission, but he's taking that power away from them.
One of my best fat roast jokes from a roast we did was with one of our friends, and I said, I just read an article and found out that a guy got arrested for having sex with a minivan. And at first I was happy that my friend finally lost his virginity, but then I was upset because he got mistaken for a minivan. The double whammy.
That's good.
The double whammy. First I imply he never gets laid, so he had to fuck a car. Flips it on its head. He's the fat ass that everyone thought was a minivan.
Nice.
That's
a good one.
That was one of my favorite ones from like doing. We've done a few live show roasts. I feel like over the years.
We have.
Friends. We roasted Dell.
Oh yeah, I remember Dell's.
Yeah, we roasted a handful of people. It's funny because like for a while I wanted to take some roast videos I had off the internet because I was so worried because I say offensive shit. They're roasts.
Yeah.
I'm super not worried about that anymore because it's like people understand what a roast is and also like whatever. I am known for roasting. Like I made jokes about people having deep pussies and being gay. Like, okay. Sick.
And that's the whole
point of a roast, right?
Yeah.
I know.
I suppose being able to make fun of yourself or let other people make fun of you.
I was afraid of it for a while.
It makes you I guess it makes you seem like also it kind of makes you seem like a better person that way cuz you're making fun of me. I'm taking it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No doubt. And just so anyone knows, I am definitely open to be roasted anytime. Let's fucking go. I'm actually usually disappointed by roasts when I'm in them. I always feel like I'm a bigger target than I get shot at. And maybe it's like a safety thing. They think maybe they don't shoot, I won't shoot back. I don't know, but
I don't know. I think also, you know what it is?
What's that?
Easy target.
That could be it.
Easy target.
Yeah.
Bam!
Anyone can hit the broadside of a barn, right?
Mic drop.
Broadside of my fucking head. They could just shoot right at me. And no, I mean, it could be. They don't want that low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I don't like that. When I do a roast, and I don't know that roasting is my thing. I'm much better at making fun of myself than I am other people.
You're great at self-deprecation. You're pretty good at roasting sometimes, too. Because you're clever with it.
Yeah, I'll switch it around. Like when I went against Dell and Jeremy.
Yeah.
And Jeremy being a big dude.
And you made fun of his feet and said they were small, right?
Well, I made fun of him being unattractive, which he's not unattractive.
Oh, no, you made fun of Dell.
And I made fun of Dell for being just fat.
As if he was
every fat joke.
So funny.
And I just kept going at him about being fat.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's such a good bit.
Yeah.
To do the jokes for one person to the person next to them. Oh.
And Jeremy came to me afterwards and he was like, man, it's like I got roasted twice because everybody knew I was the fat one and then you called me ugly too.
I mean, you had to roast him twice. You gotta make sure it's cooked all the way through. No, but I don't know. I feel like for me, I'm really hoping that Netflix has paid attention to how much people
there's going to be more roasts.
There's got to be, right?
There's going to
be so many more.
They have had so much stuff about this in itself that there's no way. They've made so much buzz.
You know what I'm going to do?
Around?
I'm going to make a quick promo real quick of us sitting here right here in front of our thing just in case cuz they've got social listening teams. I'm going to put all the tags, all right? I'm going to put all the tags. Netflix, love the roasts. Next year, you need the guy that ran the Wendy's Twitter roasts on the roast. I don't care who you're roasting. Bring me on. Bring on the Wendy's Twitter roaster. I will fucking cook, baby. Let me cook. I want to do it.
Maybe you can write. Maybe
hey,
we'll let
I'll
you
write too. That's true. If you got some,
don't knock yourself out of the whole thing.
No, I don't.
Writing.
I don't just have
jokes.
To be on. I'll be. Yeah. I would love.
Write some jokes for Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, let me be on, and I'll do all of it. I'll write all my jokes, and I'll write all of the jokes for every celebrity you get on. That's how confident I am in how many roasts I could write. Let me do it. It's like the only thing I'm confident in. I can write 1,000,000 insults.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like my best skill. If I had a mutant power, it would be insulting people.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is weird because, like, I don't, like, look at people and think of insults. I don't roast until that's the situation.
Yeah, you don't roast, like, just in general out at people.
No, and very rarely...
I know you... And
very rarely do I laugh when I see someone.
You say you're an asshole or whatever, but
know.
you're not at all.
I know.
You're like the opposite. So
well,
it's like...
my how about this? My brain is an asshole. My brain will tell me
you're
these...
thinking of things right on the bat.
My brain will tell me these very horrible jokes sometimes that I'm just like, man... And usually you laugh because you know that I've thought of something horrible, but...
Yeah, my favorite's when we see something or someone,
and
we look at each other, and
then I'm like, God damn it! And you're like, I know the joke. You're like, I know where you're going with it, and I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna punch. It's just, it's internal. I'm digesting it. Let me compact that trash.
So do you think, because this one was a big, and this one was live, literally live, so
which is
you can't
incredible.
Edit out the things.
It's so good.
So everybody's seeing.
And so
everything.
if you really got like a wild comic on there, you could drop a pipe bomb on them real quick if you wanted to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even.
I promise I'll never do that, Net.
But afterwards, I know I saw some stuff where Tom Brady's ex, Giselle or whatever, was mad because
she got brought up so much,
and her kids or whatever. How would you have not told them about that? Because it's gonna get brought up.
Maybe he did tell her
Tom
about
Brady
it.
Just dumb?
Well,
I wouldn't think he's dumb.
I don't think he's dumb. I think he's a person who's at least of normal to above average intelligence, surrounded by very smart people. I think he probably did it on purpose. I think he probably wanted her surprised by it. I think it was a petty thing.
Ah, you think so? I know he came out and then said, I wish that I hadn't did that because of my kids or something, but I think that's just because they mentioned her kids.
Yeah.
He freaking knew that they were going to mention that.
Well, and they gave the kids a pretty easy out, actually. They mostly mentioned Giselle and the like Kung Fu or whatever. Like none of them talked about Tom Brady making out with his sons or anything. Like that would have been my go-to joke initially, and then I obviously probably would have pulled it back because I understand the kids aren't signing up for the roast, which is what Nikki Glaser talked about after the fact. She had some making out with your son jokes that she didn't tell.
Oh yeah, that she did say that leaving his pregnant.
Yes, she did do that. Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, you know, sometimes sometimes you gotta tell the joke. Sometimes you gotta tell the joke.
I mean, but yeah, especially if you're in her situation, you've gotta make yourself
This is your moment.
And the more you sting, the more...
Yep, take the moment. Absolutely. She grabbed that brass ring and ran with it.
I think this one...
Kevin Hart got so drunk.
Oh, yeah. But he did a good job, though.
He was great. I actually liked it when he got more drunk because he got looser, and you could tell he was just having fun.
I think this one had more stuff, like jokes that I remember.
Yeah.
And probably will remember because they were, I don't know.
They were just really iconic.
Maybe because they didn't edit them out. Or
I mean, that helps.
Maybe that's the deal.
That does help because, like, when I go back and watch the Comedy Central ones unedited, the jokes hit so much harder. Like...
And maybe it was because of Kevin Hart. Because every time
he would repeat the good jokes.
She would hit with a good joke. He would come up and be like, "Oh man,
Yep.
He know that not real money." And
and poor Gronk, the man had no clue what was going on. He didn't understand a single joke. I don't think he understood a sentence that was spoken that night. The poor fella.
He is such a frat boy, man.
Yeah, he seemed it feels like he didn't have to get CTE. I don't think he could get CTE. I don't think his brain's close enough to his skull to cause CTE. Poor guy. I mean, but roasting right now, it's everywhere in culture now. Have you been listening to the beef? Are you aware of the beef right now?
The beef?
The beef.
Oh, the
not where's the beef, but
the beef.
The beef.
You mean
whap. That fuck 'em up. Whap. I'm gonna do my stuff.
Is this something I'm 52? Should I know
this? This is Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Oh.
So I showed you Meet the Grams, which was just brutal and vicious.
I didn't remember there was a what thing.
So that is in the newest song in the They Not Like Us.
There's a new one.
They Not Like Us. So that
are they just going back and forth with?
So I think he completely ended it because Drake tried to release a song after the last one. And it was not met well. He kind of like self-reported by bringing up Millie Bobby Brown, which is one of the few things Kendrick never brought up. He made himself look pretty fucking dumb. Nice. But I will say that I think beef in hip-hop and roast and comedy kind of go hand in hand. But it's just like a level of meaner, right? Like you're still writing the same type of jokes, but you're looking for a different effect. When you roast, it's almost building the person up. You're getting rid of the negative stuff so that they can move on with their career and we made those jokes, let's move on. With the beef, you're trying to end a career. And to some extent, I think Kendrick may have done a good job of attempting that. And
his
beef is the number one.
Really
some of them aren't jokes. Some of them aren't, right? Because even if it's even certified lover boy, certified pedophiles, like that's a joke, but is it a joke? Because you're really just calling someone out for some really nefarious behavior that could potentially be more nefarious than we know. So like, it's jokes, but it's not jokes. It's definitely the same writing style,
but that's also
with a different end, like a different intended effect, maybe.
I guess so. But what's the difference between that and like, because at the roast, there's definitely jokes that they hit at the roast that were definitely
over the line or whatever, right?
It was definitely true things.
Maybe
that
maybe it's still the consent.
Like when Nikki says that, I know I heard stuff afterwards. She says she doesn't believe that, but when she says, burnt with your one joke.
Oh yeah, right. And
I 100% think she thinks he's got one joke.
Well, right, and because what's funny, and that joke's so nuanced too, because she added a layer to it immediately by saying, "Bert with your one joke," and everyone thinks of the machine, right? Everyone thought she was talking about the machine, and then she goes, you know, getting on stage and taking off your shirt, if you call that a joke. And it, like, went an extra step and really just slapped poor Bert. He's just not a funny man. He's a lovely man. He's really entertaining.
Wow.
But he didn't, well, I'm not going to say he's not funny, because he does make me laugh a lot. But
he
didn't do great in the roast. He didn't do great in the roast.
No.
I don't think that's the environment for him.
Yeah.
It kind of, like, there's certain comics that I love that just, on the roast, maybe it's not their thing. Like, Mark Maron even talks about it on his podcast. He did the Chevy Chase one, and afterwards he was like, I hated it. Fucking hated doing it. And I think he's a great comic, but I could see that. Like, if you have your own insecurities, attacking other people is going to come off, like, petty and toxic. You almost have to be completely okay with yourself for your jokes to other people sound. You got to make them sound nonchalant.
You have to be, and you have to, because you have to know what they're going to say, right?
Right. Oh yeah. You know your weaknesses. They're not digging up dirt.
That's the thing with roast. They say something that is an actual thing on most of the time.
It's either an actual thing or you're hyperbolizing an actual thing.
And then, you know, you could say it doesn't get to you or something, but I mean,
I guess it's just the processing of it, right?
You're
just looking at your negative self and cleaning the mirror, hoping that you can look at your reflection again.
I guess it's how you take it, and then you use it. Maybe you use that as a maybe, and change your shit if it's something bad.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because it's like you have to have some sort of bad stuff to be the person getting roasted. Like there has to be something to push off of. You can't just be like a good.
Well, I mean,
how do you roast just a good guy?
When people roast me, they just
call you old,
Chinese,
old and Asian. Yeah,
old and Asian.
I mean, but truthfully though,
nothing I can do about that.
Right? No, absolutely not. Right, and truthfully, like when it comes down to it, that's what it's going to be, right? If it's just like a roast battle or something, or like if you don't know someone super well, most of the roasts are going to be okay. What's a defining characteristic and what's a joke about that characteristic? Big nose joke. Fat joke. Woman joke. Man joke. Fat. Right. I said that already, but those are the ones that I get.
Yeah, But also, those are ones that are tough to. I guess the deal is coming up with a new way to tell that.
Yes,
joke
you gotta come up.
People are all saying because they all said the same joke.
So like one of my jokes that I always use for you on the roasts, and it's a joke about old and Asian, and because this was one I came up with a long time ago, where I say Paul is so old, he used to spend his summers in internment camp. Wildly racist joke, absolutely horrible. But the turn is I'm calling him old, but also making fun of him for being Asian at the same time. And so it's like a new twist without blatantly hitting you over the face with it. That said, I mean, most people aren't like super new.
Yeah.
They're not super new with the jokes.
Yeah. Plus,
Paul's so old, he was born in black and white. Like, you get street jokes most of the time.
Yeah, internment camps. Good one.
It's so great, right?
Except
I mean, it's so perfect.
except I'm
Chinese and not even Japanese. I know, which makes it more
that makes
racist.
It goes against you.
It's true.
I guess it makes it more racist.
Yeah, it just makes it more racist. Yeah, it's an extra racist joke because it's a racist joke against the wrong race. Sometimes roasts just go too far.
So did you? Which ones did you think flopped? There's a couple that flopped during the, and I don't mean to keep going back. It's just
No.
The one
It's
that's
important.
In my
I mean, this is
here,
what we're talking
the
about.
Tom Brady one. And so
Randy Moss went up with more confidence behind the jokes than he should have, and that didn't work for him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who wrote his jokes, but the way he delivered them didn't help it very much.
Yeah.
But he's a football player.
He's a football player. That's not his
Gronk,
deal.
again, it's like they're football players. Drew Bledsoe did better than I thought he would.
Yep.
Segura and Kreischer both were a bit of a disappointment for me.
Disappointment.
I got the bit. I get what they were doing. I love those guys, but their chunk just wasn't.
Yeah, he just was. It looked like, oh man, he is just out of his element right here.
Yeah.
And Tom did too. At the same time, I know they're trying to do this PowerPoint thing, which
I get it. It's funny.
They had
there's some good bits
funny
in it.
hits in it.
Yeah, it just didn't have enough hits. It needed to go quicker.
Yeah. I was like, why are you doing this together? But I get it.
I'll tell you who I love to death, but I think got a million laughs just because of who they are.
I know what you're going to say.
Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy. I thought it fell flat.
The jokes weren't great, but the room was so happy to see Ron Burgundy that it didn't matter. And that's okay. I get that.
When I watched it, I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, man, and he had one joke, which was basically, you're so handsome, Tom Brady, but everybody was doing that. And I'm like,
so you need to compare the writing to other people and what they're going to do, or else it's going to get repetitive.
But also, you're Will Ferrell.
I know.
You know how to freaking turn.
You know how to read a room. You could riff.
You freaking know how to turn.
I was disappointed in the end result of Ron Burgundy. I was happy to see Ron Burgundy. He got a great reaction. The room still loved him. So, it is what it is. But that was the one that I was most let down by.
I don't even think he was very Ron Burgundy.
No, that was my biggest problem
the character
too.
Very much.
Yeah,
it was just him dressed as him.
Yeah, and just kind of slurring his words a little.
Yeah,
which disappoint. But
yeah,
that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Especially when you're that big, like, there's a lot of expectation on you existing. And it goes either way. You either have the people who are just happy that he shows up, or you have the people that are like, okay, but show me something new. Which I guess was probably us. Shouldn't be funny. Do it. Don't just be here.
Ben Affleck fell...
Oh, man, I forgot he was even
flat, too.
There. Yeah. Not having a good run right now, old Ben. Apparently, Bennifer is on the kaputs again.
Oh, really?
It's true.
Oh, man. Nobody likes to stay with him long, huh?
No, I think every time I'm a Snake peaks in popularity, they break up. They were together when I made it.
Is that the Anaconda thing?
They were together when I made it, and then when it went on Tosh, they split. And then, it's been around forever. Now that Cameo and everything's popping, they split again. I'm sorry, Ben.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for you and your giant phoenix tattoo. Have you seen that thing?
No.
It's on his back. Looks wild.
Jesus.
Man's made some decisions.
Yeah.
He's gone through it. He's definitely gone through it. A lot of women named Jennifer has broke this man's heart.
He knows how gotta do some comedy though.
Yeah, you would have think he would like, I don't know, call up Kevin Smith or something and have him write a bit. Like you got friends and you're funny and you're a writer, but I get it. Like it's a new format. You're putting yourself out there live on a huge platform in a format you've not experienced before. That's something a lot of people don't realize too about stand-up, and I think it helps with roasting is being on stage and doing stand-up is such a wild experience because you start learning that every syllable can change the reaction that people have to you. The way you deliver each word can change your reaction. If I'm in the middle of delivering a great joke and I start running out of breath, people aren't going to laugh as much when I hit the punchline. Like every bit about everything, word choice changes it. So a guy, even though he's a great writer, comes on here, I think he might have had some jokes that if people who, had run him through it a few times, I think he could have done better.
We need to do one of these on jokes, actually.
Ooh, yeah, the whole joke writing.
Get in the bottom of jokes and how that goes. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert, but I know how to.
I mean, you know about the format.
I mean, it's just, and it's not like something I learned or I just look at it and I'm like,
it's miniature storytelling.
Yeah,
really.
And it's like how,
Yeah, the punchline's just the climax of your story.
I guess it's because I've lived it long enough that I'm like,
you've seen
I know how to do a
you
reaction.
Recognize the patterns, right?
It's a timing thing always with me.
Oh yeah,
it's
your timing's
when
good.
It goes there. I do think that that is the best thing about
your superpower.
Comedy is knowing the timing, when to say nothing or when to frigging.
Yeah, you know how to use. I've
say
never
something weird.
Yes, I've never had someone use hesitation as a punchline as effectively as you can. Like the way you can like hesitate just a half second in between the things you're saying, it's perfect. Like you come up like it's this timing I don't think anyone else can hit, and it's one of the things that literally makes you so funny. You're saying something and you just like pause for like a half second longer, and it just crushes.
Even when I do stuff like I have, like playing the guitar, and I'll stop, and people will clap, and then I'll be like, "Thanks," and people will laugh at me just saying thanks.
It's just the tone.
I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, I'll just do that, I guess. This is really
the fact that your reaction is okay is why the initial thanks is so funny, because you're not expecting the reaction, and it just yeah.
So I think who you think they're gonna who should they roast next?
Let's bring Trump back.
Oh,
let's bring Trump back. Let's light it on fire. Let's burn the world down.
I wonder if he'd do it.
No way. No way. But
you don't think so?
No, I don't.
Trump doesn't give a shit.
That's true. It depends. Is the check big enough? If you write a big enough check, he'll do it for sure. As long as the check's big enough, the man will show up. Who else should we roast? What's like an older comedian that would? Dave Chappelle could be a good roast. He's been around forever, and he's now has some stuff that people could get him on.
You should move away from a sports guy.
Yeah, you don't want to do that again. Like maybe a classic actor. You could do a Carol Burnett. She just did that show, and she's really old.
Yeah,
but she might be too old.
Yeah, I don't think people.
Could, like, because then you want to respect her. But she could fill in that, the role where they had Betty White do it, or they had B. Arthur do it.
She could roast.
She could be on the dais, and that would be actually kind of awesome. Maybe that would be cool. If
Carol Burnett's so underrated.
Yeah, if they do it again, they need to.
The Carol Burnett show was so underrated.
I need to go back and watch more of it. Everything I've seen is incredible. Have you watched Palm Royale?
I haven't. I think I got like an episode or two.
She's great in that too. Like slowly comes back to life. It's so good.
She's
so good.
Doesn't talk,
and she's
the whole thing is
the
great.
Whole time. Incredible.
That was her deal. She's really good at physical comedy.
Yeah,
was her thing. But
you could roast Seth Rogen. They did James Franco, but now there's been a good 20 years between that.
Ooh, who's a good? Because I didn't even think about this part of the thing. Who would be
Rob Schneider?
Jesus Christ!
Then you can get all of the
Sandler
guys on there.
I think they've probably done a Sandler already, huh?
Not that I know of, and I don't know that he's much of a roasty type guy either.
But
Spade is though.
Spade would
Spade would definitely roast. Man, I don't know if his show's coming back, but Snake Oil, David Spade, Conan would be good. Oh, man, the roast of Conan would be great because you would definitely get some just crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you could do like I want him to do the roast of 50 Cent just because I have a bunch of jokes. I love him to death, but I just have a bunch of old bits that I think are good that I'd love to I'd love to tell.
So people liking people making fun of them.
Yeah. I think I would see. I don't know.
I guess if you do it on your own terms, it's okay.
It helps, right? And I don't know. For me, it's almost like it feels familiar because, like, I grew up in a household where people were just picking on each other all the time.
You know what? I think if I was somebody who was famous, you know, and you get shit on the internet all the time, people freaking running you down.
See it anyway. Might as well make some money off of it.
Even Ben Affleck's whole deal was about people trolling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole purpose. And if you go and you sit down at this roast and you're famous and everybody sees it, everybody making these jokes.
You're going to make that joke again?
What are these other people going to say? Yeah. You've already heard them.
Yep.
You've already showed.
Not only that, you've seen the best version of those jokes.
Yeah.
You hire the best joke writers in the country to write the best version of the jokes to insult you. Yeah, what's Joe Schmo going to say?
I showed you I could take that.
Yeah, what's Joe Schmo going to say?
Right. And even if they do and that doesn't affect them, it should give you yourself kind of a new confidence boost about it. You know what I mean?
It's like jumping into the Matrix. It's jumping into the Matrix of jokes is being roasted.
Yeah.
You learn you can dodge bullets.
Go on and get yourself roasted.
You learn you won't have to.
Get yourself roasted.
Yeah, I think so. Let's roast.
Yeah.
You got a roast for me? Roast me once.
I did write some roasts. Are we going to roast each other?
Yeah, roast me.
Let me look at this. I wrote some down here.
I want to be roasted.
We're going to freaking this roasting one. Mm-hmm. Gosh, because I'm really great at roasting.
I bet they're good.
Ah, man. Yeah, but you're the professional roaster. We've already discussed this.
That's true.
You're going to kill me here.
I've written nothing.
Matt!
Yes.
Oh, yeah, great. I've written shit and you have written nothing. I will say I only had like this morning to write.
Yeah, no, I
know.
I
was not like.
You don't have to. You don't gotta clarify. You don't gotta clarify.
I remember this. I remember what happened. Here's what I remember. I know what's gonna happen here, Matt.
What's gonna happen? I'm not baiting you. I
remember
promise.
when we did the debate, America
Ferrara versus America the Beautiful.
I was debating on behalf of America Ferrara. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you took the obvious winning position.
And then you let me.
This was pre Barbie, by the way.
And you went first, and your first deal was like,
you want me to go first?
Tame and nothing. No, I don't want you to go first.
You want to go second?
Because here's what happened. It was tame and nothing. And you were just waiting to see how I was going to come at you. And then you just freaking... I was like, God damn it.
I baited you.
Yeah. I started doing some kind of... I did a freaking Nickelback joke, and you're like, they're from Canada. I was like, you think I did research for this shit?
I promise I have no intentions of currently baiting you, but I can't promise that there won't...
I don't believe you.
Matt? Yes.
I was going to roast you on some Wendy stuff.
Okay. Ready.
Or like some snake stuff.
Yeah.
But then I figured it'd be much easier just doing your looks. Oh! Mic drop! Gotcha!
Yeah, that's true. This right here, this is Paul sending his first sext. It's a telegraph. He's telegraphing sex.
Oh, I thought you were doing Morse code.
Same thing, right?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Is Morse code, they use that in telegraphs?
I have literally no idea.
Here's Paul's first sex. Mary had a little lamb.
It was whatever that freaking Jack and the Beanstalk porn.
Got me. God damn it.
Gotcha.
Freaking, I didn't know you were going to bring a telegraph here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Matt. Oh, yeah. Saddle up, Matt.
I'm ready. I'm
here
saddled.
You go. How come you didn't sue when the Hendersons tied you to the top of their car?
I should have. They should still be getting royalties.
Here's me doing an 80s joke.
I found that
80s movie joke.
I actually found that DVD at a garage sale this year.
Did you?
Just recently added it to the collection. Yeah.
That was a good movie, if I remember correctly.
It's pretty great.
John Lithgow.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love John Lithgow?
John Lithgow and Bigfoot. With
Third
John
Rock from the
Lithgow
Sun.
doing BDSM on a Bigfoot.
Paul's so old. When he was born, John Lithgow had a full head of hair. Full head of hair. Full.
When he was born, people knew who John Lithgow was.
When Paul was born.
Okay. Matt.
Uh-huh.
You look like you came from the future to warn us of the apocalypse and that you were all out of ranch dressing.
So, like,
I don't know what that means.
So I'm like in a future apocalyptic wasteland, and I took the effort to come back in time just because I was out of ranch. I do look like that. I do look like a guy who would let the world go to complete shit and just be worried about a side of ranch. I look like my blood is made out of ranch. Paul is so Asian that when he got his 23andMe back, it said he was 50% Asian. It's not really a roast, actually. It's just a fact.
So I'm not really that Asian.
He's only half Asian. He's a poser. Paul's about
poser.
Here we go.
Got
Here's
me.
the joke. I got it.
Oh, shit.
Paul's about as Asian as Panda Express.
Yeah,
About as Chinese as Panda Express.
Okay.
I'm not a pro right now.
Here's
I'll
one.
come up with a good one.
Here's one I like.
Mm-hmm.
Matt,
Let's hear it.
you look like Forrest Gump from that scene where he's just running across the country for no reason, except instead of running across the country, you just entered a hot dog eating contest.
Thank you. That was really good. Paul, you actually kind of look like the guy from all the hot dog eating contests.
Black Widow?
Kobayashi, right?
Kobayashi.
That or that bear from that Fox show where the guy had to beat a bear at hot dogs. Did you see that?
No.
Man vs. Beast. A man did a hot dog eating contest against a bear. I think it might have been Joey Chestnut. I don't know.
Maybe if it was Kobayashi, we could redo it.
Oh, yeah. I can.
And
I'll
me
put on
versus you.
a friggin' bear suit.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really need one.
Okay, I got one more here.
All right, let's do it.
Matt.
Mm-hmm.
You're very accomplished with the snake video and all the Wendy's awards.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't you ever talk about your greatest accomplishment?
Oh, what's that?
Letting historians know what it would look like if you put a beard on those Easter Island statues.
I do have that fucking nose, too. Like, I feel like let's get some side views for sure. Oh, that's so good. I look like that fucking emoji. Oh, god damn it. I tried looking for the emoji that looked like Paul. I settled on a dumpling. I don't know. That's all I got. I thought you were going to pause more while you were speaking, and I was going to try to write more jokes in the pauses.
No, I'm going to pause more.
I'm just kidding.
I was pausing quite a bit.
I know. No, I just
I don't
didn't
pause as much when I'm reading. I was
Yeah, no, I didn't have a whole lot of good roasts for you today, Polly. I apologize for that. But you got me good. You got some good ones.
You got you good.
You got
Forrest
me.
Gump at a
That's
hot
fucking,
dog eating
that's
contest.
fucking funny. Forrest Gump during the running scene in a hot dog eating contest? That's exactly what I look like. Literally exactly what I look like. I look like someone who falls asleep in a matching tracksuit.
Elton John.
Yes. I do. I look like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon of Elton John. No, I kind of look like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day balloon of a friggin' Duck Dynasty guy a little bit.
Okay, Elton John if he was a bear.
Ooh, yeah. Like
Dang.
not the gay bear, but
Oh,
the
probably
animal
the gay
bear
kind.
or both. Yeah,
Probably the gay
yeah,
kind.
because I do kind of look like a gay bear. I feel like that. Like I've got that dad.
You're
vibe.
definitely the bear.
Jason
vibe.
Kelsey,
and I don't think Elton John is.
No, I think he's. I don't know what they call him all. Maybe a twink. I don't. But that I might be wrong.
I don't know
all the
rules to it
terminologies.
either.
I don't know all the terminologies. But that feels like one I've heard, and I like. I like the sound of it.
But I don't think that's him.
I don't know if I can. I don't know. I don't know
they're
if
like
I can.
all little guys. I think,
That's true.
the
They're like
twins.
really. And he's got a little meat to him.
Yeah.
He's got.
That's what I know from.
What do they call the
RuPaul's
ones
Drag
that are
Race.
like the super dancey out there? Like I'm still standing better than I ever did.
Oh, they have another name for those
Looking for
guys?
an
I don't know.
Well, they got all the sub. I'm gonna hit up some people. I'm gonna find out what subsection of the LGBTQIA plus community
Are the
Elton John fits
flamboyant
into.
ones?
Yeah,
I
like
guess
if
it's the
there's like
flamboyant ones.
if there's like a special name or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll call him. But as far
I
as
could ask
roast
him. I'd call
goes,
some.
yeah, call him up. As far as roast, I think we got to the bottom of it. The reason they're so good is because you get a clean slate. You get the best joke writers in the world to target all your faults. No one can target you for those anymore. It's perfect. It's great PR. It's a perfect platform for tons of people to get a bunch of eyeballs on them.
It's like yourself. It's almost
great.
like a kind of a version of your self-deprecation.
Yeah.
But you're letting somebody else do it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you're giving them permission.
And you're making, and that makes it better because you're never going to self-deprecate quite as good as someone from the outside.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's it for the roast
man.
days. Keep following us on the socials at Arson Club KC on the TikTok and the Instagram. We're up there on the Facebooks. You can find us on the YouTubes. Follow our podcast where the fine podcasts are sold, and I think we might have a new one cooking up here soon.
Cooking.
We'll let you know what happens, and I guess I am your Snake Daddy, your shitposter supreme, Matt Keck, and alongside me is the light of my life.
Paul, 50% Asian shield.
It's just a fact.
It's a fact. It's funny because it's true.
It's not even funny. It was just like
It's not funny because it's true.
It's just like a thing. Bottom points.
Ouch.